Severe tropical cyclone Zelia is expected to make landfall on the Pilbara coast later this afternoon, bringing wind gusts possibly reaching as high as 290 kilometres an hour. Looking at the system on our current radar imagery, we can see the clearly defined core of the system. Bands of showers and thunderstorms are wrapping around the cyclone. Now, watching through this imagery quite fast, we can see that southeasterly track of the system as it moves from out over the ocean and in towards the Pilbara coast. Through the course of today, we are expecting severe tropical cyclone Zelia to continue moving in a southwards direction towards that Pilbara coastline. At this point in time, the Category 5 system is expected to drop southwards through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon, likely making a coastal crossing around mid to late afternoon. Now, the forecast has been shifting back and forth as the cyclone shifts back and forth off the coast, but the current analysis has that tropical cyclone coastal crossing time at around 4 p.m. Western Standard Time, most likely to the east of Port Hedland. Now, that is some good news. It means that the hardest hitting impacts are likely to be seen to the east of Port Hedland. However, our broader area of impacts still extends from Wallal Downs all the way down to Roebourne. That is captured in our tropical cyclone warning area. Now, at the time of coastal crossing, we will see the most intense impacts, although we're likely to see those winds and rain building throughout the course of today. So the impacts we are likely to see include widespread destructive wind gusts, at least 120 to 160 kilometres an hour, likely within our warning area between Wallal Downs and Roebourne, including around the Port Hedland area. But the strongest wind gusts are likely to be seen when the tropical cyclone core crosses the coast this afternoon. It's at that time we could see wind gusts up to 290 kilometres an hour close to the core of that system. Now, to put that into perspective, with a severe thunderstorm, we might see wind gusts of 90, 100 kilometres an hour, possibly 110 or 120 if it's a particularly strong system. So to expect wind gusts up to 290 kilometres an hour really tells how strong and intense this Category 5 system is. Wind gusts that strong are likely to lead to destruction of trees and permanent structures in the path of that system. We're also likely to see heavy to locally intense rainfall moving in with this system, most likely near and to the east of the tropical cyclone as it pushes onto the coast. That means high rain rates and the risk of flash flooding will continue through this afternoon, feeding into our river catchments and potentially leading to more riverine flooding as well. Storm tides and inundation are also likely to be seen as this system approaches, then crosses the coast, with high tides and large waves washing up and potentially causing some inundation damage. Now, again, the strongest and most dangerous impacts are likely when we see the core of this system crossing the coast, but we could see those impacts anywhere within our tropical cyclone warning area, which, as I mentioned, does still extend from Wallal Downs all the way down to Roebourne. After the coastal crossing later this afternoon, we are likely to see this system dropping inland, moving south and losing intensity over the next couple of days. Our tropical cyclone warning area does extend well inland, including areas like Wim Creek, Marble Bar, Tom Price, even down to Newman at this point in time. In these areas, we could see those very strong winds and heavy rainfall pushing through with this system. It's definitely worth remembering that the intensity of a cyclone is based on its wind speed. So that means even as this system starts to decay, starts to weaken, the winds might be backing off, but the rain impacts we may continue to see could be significant. And we certainly are expecting fairly heavy falls to continue across those inland areas over the next few days, even as the system starts to decay. Taking a look at that now, we can see that as the system drops southwards across the Pilbara and into parts of the Gascoyne, we continue to see very heavy rain wrapping around the system, particularly to the south and eastern areas of that cyclone track. All of these areas should be aware of that risk of heavy falls over the coming days and the flooding impacts that could bring about. As this system nears the coast over the coming hours, you can find hourly updates via our website and the Bomb Weather app. Stay safe and we'll catch you in the next update.